Good morning, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. I'm about to go out and move the animals onto a new section of pasture and thought maybe you'd like to come with me. Permaculture is a design system that utilises many tools, and the planned rotational grazing system that I use is just one of these design tools. It allows me to rebuild soil and increase the fertility of the land here, which is really important to me. Rebuilding soils is really important to the health of the planet and to reducing the effects of climate change. I'm just trying to do the best I can for this property that I'm current caretaker of. Hello, Ned. Nitty naughty. Good boy. Hello. Morning, Beth. Good morning, B1 and B2. Hello. Come on, People often think that I'm wasting my time and that there are quicker, easier ways to feed your animals than to put up and pack up fences, move water troughs and hook up to electricity every day. And they are right. There are easier ways to feed animals. But are they better ways? I don't think so. You see, I don't just look at this as feeding animals. I see it as feeding the soil. The soil is a living, breathing entity, not just dirt. Unfortunately, lots of the world's soils are turning to dirt as the living organisms that once existed in them are being tilled to death or poisoned with chemicals. They can't survive any longer. These areas are now desertified with little plant growth and little water holding capacity due to reduced organic matter and very little life. The reason I can get up and out each day is my drive to feed all these little creatures. Not only the ones that I have to contain with fences. There is a joy in giving my sheep and cattle and my alpacas good, clean, fresh, lush grass every day. When I open up the fencing to the new paddock, I barely have to say sheep, 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 and they are on the move, excited for the day's feasting to begin. The cows are a newer addition to the property and don't always move as quickly. But when they finally click as to what's going on, they will often run and jump and kick up their heels, much to the annoyance of my sheep. I have been asked if I will ever have permanent fences set up to contain my animals, but the answer to that is no. There are variables that change all the time and dictate how much pasture you need to give your herd. Flock and herd numbers vary throughout the year, with the newborns in spring and the older animals leaving us when the butcher comes to visit. Always a hard day, but necessary to put nutrient-dense food on the table. Not only the numbers of animals varies, but so too the requirements of each animal during its lifetime. Young, old, pregnant, lactating, all of these vary the amount of feed required each day. The grass itself impacts the size of the paddock I need to provide on a daily basis. You need to move animals more quickly when the grass is growing fast and slower when it's not growing. Here that is in winter and if the summer is really hot and dry. In spring, the fast-growing grass does not require the same rest between grazings as in the dormant period. If the grass is growing really slowly, you need to give it lots of rest so that it is recovered fully before the animals move over it again. I vary between a 30-day cycle in spring and a 60-day cycle for most of the rest of the year. I don't move the animals faster than 30 days as I want to avoid parasites as much as possible, and this period of time between grazings helps to reduce this parasite pressure. So given all of that, I choose to move my fences daily so I can control the grazing on all the different areas. Poorer pastures have more bacteria than fungi. By increasing the amount of organic matter on the soil helps to move the soil profile through succession. This means that down the track, higher quality forage will grow. Come on, Nettie. Come on, little Zooms. Good boy, Dusty. Off you go. Planned rotational grazing helps reduce weed pressure in the pasture in a couple of ways. Moving the animals over small areas at a time means they are more likely to graze weeds along with grasses than if they have access to large areas all the time. In this situation, they choose to eat the young, fresh growth of the grasses than eat much of the weed species. The weeds grow to the point of going to seed, which then spreads more weed seeds. The grasses, which are constantly being mowed down, become weaker, making it easy for the weeds to spread. Come on, Mr. Ned. In a pasture, high-quality grasses are present in soils with a higher fungi to bacteria ratio. These grasses need a higher ratio than most vegetables, including tomatoes. By always making sure that grass is always left behind and ideally trampled, that and the manures help feed the soil. Over time, more plants grow, which feeds more sugars to the microorganisms, which multiply, and slowly the system improves. Come on, Dusky. Good boy. Oh, look at that. Sometimes they get a little bit lost and need to be shown the way. I don't know what Dusky's doing today, but we're nearly there. He doesn't like the cows being right at the entrance. Good boy. The second way a planned grazing can help reduce weeds is through succession. Succession is the process whereby the soil slowly develops more complex life over time, given the right circumstances. More organic matter and more moisture retention helps grow the soil life. As the amount of fungi grows in the soil, this creates poorer growing conditions for weeds, as their preferred food starts to decline due to fungal impact. So healthier soils promote healthier, more palatable and nutritious forage for our livestock. By using methods such as rotational grazing means that I can control weeds without the use of herbicides, which further promotes healthy soils. Chemicals kill the soil food web, so really need to be avoided. I've learned heaps about this form of grazing, but know I still have a lot to learn. I think you can only do your best and be a lifelong learner and make the improvements. And the best is really all we can do. I hope you've enjoyed this video and have learned something from my ramblings. Please let me know down in the comments if you have. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked this video and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.